All right. One more time. What's up, YouTube? It's Naj and Reina back with another wine and reactions.
Drink and things. I'm just gonna. Bloop. So today we have a nice concoction of a red South African wine with a dazzle of dark rum. Would you like to show them the dark rum?
It is Malibu. Little Malibu.
70 proof Malibu Black.
So,
Dora! Welcome
Hi,
back.
Dora.
Are we muted? Dora, thank God we're not. Yes,
What's
Dora,
up,
welcome
Summer?
back. Summer, we have missed you, baby girl.
we missed you, Summer. What's it?
Did you make
Okay.
It's okay, guys.
Struggle streaming. This is what they call it on YouTube when people are trying to get it popping. Struggle streaming. All right, so y'all just gotta learn to bear with us as we work through these flaws. This is a learning experience. All
Well,
right.
I'm not even learning. We need to really upgrade our stuff. We're not used to doing so much like this.
Yeah, but I mean, even like the commands, the mute. Let's struggle stream. We need to get our we. All right, so we're back. So listen.
Hold on. Give me a second. Give me one second. Go pull up your video. It's okay. We're gonna just not waste the breath until we make sure we're good. I'm gonna pull up our live on my phone. If you're coming in, you can hear us. Go ahead and let us know where you're from. And hopefully we stop our lagging.
Listen, you all just expect it to lag a little bit when you are able to actually hear what I'm saying right now. I want you all to know that it may happen again, all right? We're going to work through this. We're going to get it together, but just expect it to lag. I don't know what this is. We A-R-E back.
We are back.
So just it's gonna lag from time to time. It may freeze for a little bit, but just stay there. Don't go nowhere, and we'll get it back popping. All right. Now, yeah, let's go ahead and share the screen.
Thanks,
babe.
Kathy. All right. So the good thing is it's not as delayed as it was before. So that's a big win.
Yeah.
They are hearing and seeing things quick. All right, you ready? So what is this? What we're watching?
What you just said. It's my window.
I can't stand the rain, but my kids I can't stand the rain, but my kids probably can't stand when I pick them up. Now my daughter's turn.
Sueño dos y do like you loco. Can we get it wicked night like Coco? So, you wanna play with my yo-yo? I smoke my on the D-Lo.
You really outdone yourself this time. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
I can't.
Are we good?
That is pretty funny.
I had to share that. When
Thanks for that
singing it.
comedic relief, my friend.
When you started sharing that, when you started singing that, should I say? I was like, yo, that
Against
just
my
reminded me
window.
earlier today.
Okay, go get yourself prepared for what we got to do next. You know, I was about to say that, like, you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. Like, when you get older, you're going to be like, my dad came to my freaking school in a fucking garbage bag, inflated, to play with me, and all my friends thought that shit was hilarious. Like, that's funny. That's awesome.
Let's get a few people highlighted. Let's see what everybody got.
Yeah,
going on.
so we were talking about the weather earlier. It's windy. There's tornadoes out here. Midwest Pisces. It's because it's F off Friday. Susan with chuckles coming in. Let's go. Everybody's saying hi to each other. That's what I love to see. All right, guys. Agreed, Dora. I love some fun parents.
That was hilarious.
So, guys, let me see. I thought my grandmother flinging a shoe or a rosary was bad. Your grandmother flinging a shoe. She was throwing the chancla. She was, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Do you know the chancla? You ain't been hitting the head of chancla?
Nope.
You? I'm sure someone got you once.
So I will say,
I'm gonna get my kids with a chancla.
When I was in 9th grade, I was in my math class, and we kept talking, right? And our school, and this was in Chicago, on the west side of Chicago. The school teacher, she was from New York. So she was like, look, y'all keep talking, I'm gonna throw this book at y'all. I'm gonna throw this book at y'all head. And we was like, you ain't even do nothing. So we just kept talking.
Don't
whatever.
Play with those East Coast.
She literally threw a book at my head. I swear, she threw the book and it like glazed my, cause I had the reactions, but they were like, look, and I looked up, she threw it, it like literally glazed. I'm surprised I never told you that. Like I told you, I don't even remember stuff in the moment when things are relative, but like it literally glazed like my ear, and I was like, I'm telling my mom. I was like, I'm telling my mama. Oh man.
He said,
it was so
I'm telling my
funny.
mama.
It was so funny.
What was her name?
Her name was it was Angie or Angelica or Miss
You
Angie.
remember? Oh, y'all called them by the first names?
No, but like I knew her first name, so I'm trying to think of like.
You probably liked her.
No, it wasn't even that.
Deep down, you're like, I like you, Miss Angie.
No.
You threw a book in my head.
What was her name? I forgot. It started with an A. It was like Angelique or Angela.
Oh, my name's Angelique.
I can't recall.
Elcar.
What's up, Elcar?
All right, guys, we gotta get started. We've been in this for 6 minutes, and honestly, we've been doing this. Grandma was Helen. Oh, that's so sweet. We've been doing this a long time, so let's go ahead and finally get started on the video. I'm gonna turn down my video because it's kind of distracting me. But it did help me to know when something was going wrong, though. Yeah. But let's go ahead and get started. I had, speaking of teachers, there's certain teachers that you'll always remember because they did something impactful in your life or horrible in your life.
Yeah.
I have one teacher. If anyone, this is just a shot in the dark. But I went to a middle school in the south suburbs of Chicago, and there's this very tall black man. His name was Mr. Smoot. And I remember Mr. Smoot because he was our history teacher, and he always said, don't forget the Alamo. And he had painted toes. He always wore sandals, and his toes were painted with little toe rings. And this was back in like 2003.
Toe rings.
Or 4. Maybe 2004 or 5. Maybe, I can't remember if it was 2004 or 5. But it was like 2005 maybe. And he always had sandals on no matter what time in the Midwest, in Chicago. Always had sandals on, always had his toes out. They were always painted. And, back then my mind went straight to thinking maybe he, but no, he had white kids, everybody. And he just owned who he was and enjoyed his life and lived the way he wanted to live. So.
Interesting.
Kathy, she said, you're so young. Thank you. I'm just so glad to still be considered young. I have a whole bunch of employees that are in their 20s and I'm just like, y'all don't even know what life is.
No, that's a good point though, because we do usually have those teachers that were like really impactful, and that like meant a lot. I don't think I'll ever forget Mr. Baker, my American history teacher, which was he was like the coolest. Like he was black. He was like maybe he's probably like late 20s, early 30s. right?
Oh wow, so he's like kind of like relatable still.
Yeah.
As a young person.
And he was like really, really cool. I'm not exactly sure where he was from. He told us, I can't remember, but he like some people that leave like a good impact on you.
Yeah.
You know, and like
you should
play, like,
find him.
Yeah. I'm sure I can. I actually seen him after high school. This was like maybe like 3 years removed or something like that. I seen him after high school, like
3 years removed
from high school.
Oh.
And it was just you know, cool seeing him afterwards or whatever, and just, you know, talking about what we got going on. Because I was working for a school like 3 years after high school. You know, so cool things. Said not Robin. You sure it wasn't Robin?
Kathy, you were in high school same time as my mom, so you and my mother, who watches our channel, would be like friends. Y'all would be like besties. But my mother is my best friend, tell them.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mother is my bestest friend in the world.
And that's true. Like it's all just numbers, honestly.
I
Especially
thought you meant
today.
that's true about me and my mom.
Oh, that's true too.
Okay, because I like tell them. And you're like, that's true. She was with those numbers.
No, I was reading.
I was talking about me.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean they are like morning time, talking on the phone, like laughing, interacting, having a good time. Evening time, kicking it, having a good time, talking about business and growing things and stuff like that. Just all different type of things.
Now she said, what's the point of getting off the phone if y'all just going to be on the phone all day? Y'all might as well just stay on the phone all day.
What's the point of getting off? You're going to hop back on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. My mom lost hers in 2020, so I'm sorry about that. I know that's hard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to these evil people.
What, right fast before we do,
Because we're...
lastly,
Okay.
we have a Patreon now, my good peoples. I know a few of you all were asking about it. A few people asked, like, how can they donate to the channel? How can they support the channel? We had our first 4 individuals.
Kathy's one of
on the
them.
Patreon. And Kathy is the number 4. So here's the thing. Here's how it breaks down right fast. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown. The Patreon. It's $8 a month. You're going to get exclusive content that we don't post on YouTube. All right. And if we do post it, it's going to be a live and we take it down and post it on the Patreon. $8 a month. There's only 20 spots. There's 20 spots for the $8 a month. And then we're going to close that tier down because those are going to be the founding individuals, the founding contributors, the founding members to the channel. All right. After that, the price will go up, but this is going to be exclusive content, things that we find interesting. All right, so I'm going to put up
also, what I think is really cool is you guys get to help us kind of figure out videos that would be nice to watch. So you guys get to engage us on a platform that's a little bit more easy to talk on. So actually, I'm the oldest of 6. I was going to say the same thing. Kathy, I lost mine in 2020. My condolences. Man, y'all are stronger than me because my mama go, I go, baby. I can't take no more. I love her. All right, let's get started. Let's go right here. You ready?
Yeah.
Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have...
Let's say what this is. So
I thought we did.
top,
Hold on, because the sound is bad.
This is the top 10 evil people the FBI wants you to forget about.
The top 10 evil people the FBI wants you to forget about. All right, guys. Well, I know that we are talking amongst ourselves about the craziness in this world, and we're going to go ahead and get popping on this thing. But I will let you know, I randomly ran across this video, and the thumbnail definitely was clickbait to me. So we'll see what happens. Down, down, down. There you go.
Angel Resendez, also known as the Railroad Killer. Angel is said to have committed somewhere around 23 horrific crimes during his spree in both the United States and Mexico in the 1990s. He went on to become known as the Railroad Killer because of the fact that most of his crimes were committed near railroads, where he had just jumped off of trains he was using to travel around the country. Most of his crimes took place in the homes of those he harmed, and usually after the crimes he'd linger around to eat their food and sometimes steal their sentimental items. items. Sometimes he'd even take jewelry to re-gift to his mother and sister.
Oh,
In
hell
June of
no.
1999, he was listed on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, and when his sister saw him there, she was worried he would continue harming people, so she thankfully contacted the authorities. After this, they were able to convince him to surrender and he was sent to trial. In the end, he was sentenced to death by the jury, and although there were multiple appeal attempts, his death warrant was signed, and on June 27, 2006, he received his sentence. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Long Island serial killer, also known as the Craigslist.
Oh my gosh. You want to submit that?
I was checking it. Go ahead.
No?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, that was a crazy number 1 or number 10. Shit. Did you hear all that?
The majority. Go ahead. What you think about it?
I don't know. I didn't get to really hear it. I was distracted. I'm not gonna lie. I was distracted and I was like watching everything happen. I was reading the comments. I don't know. I feel like, can we watch that one more time, y'all? Can we watch that one more time?
We're gonna run it back.
I was stressed when I was watching. Najee's over here like trying to type stuff. I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm not gonna lie. But that's messed up. See, they heard it. I'm glad y'all heard it. Let's go back one more time. He was a railroad hobo. Okay, Dora.
What happened?
Dora. Not a railroad hobo. Is that really what he was? Let's go back. Sounds like it, Dora. One more time, y'all. I'm not going to go back too much. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm paying attention now.
Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Angel Resendez. Also known as the Railroad Killer, Angel is said to have committed somewhere around 23 horrific crimes during his spree in both the United States and Mexico in the 1990s. He went on to become known as the Railroad Killer because of the fact that most of his crimes were committed near railroads, where he had just jumped off of trains he was using to travel around the country. Most of his crimes took place in the homes of those he harmed, and usually after the crimes he'd linger around to eat their food and sometimes steal their sentimental items. Sometimes he'd even take jewelry to re-gift to his mother and sister. In June of 1999, he was listed on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, and when his sister saw him there, she was worried he would continue harming people, so she thankfully contacted the authorities. After this, they were able to convince him to surrender and he was sent to trial. In the end, he was sentenced to death by the jury, and although there were multiple appeal attempts, his death warrant was signed, and on June 27, 2006, he received his sentence. In our number 9 spot today, we have
Good riddance. Good freaking riddance. You're crazy. How fucked up is it to be named Angel and be doing some shit like that? Angel, why are you out here doing all that?
Angel, walking contradiction. What's the last name?
Like the angel of death, Lucifer.
That is crazy. Out here just riding the trains, cruising.
You're going to use
plotting.
our public transportation systems to hop around and kill people? Like, what is wrong with you?
Plotting.
Sheesh. All right, guys, let's see what this next one is. These people are wild.
Long Island serial killer, also known as the Craigslist Ripper. His death warrant was signed, and on June 27, 2006, he received his sentence. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Long Island serial killer, also known as the Craigslist Ripper. The LISK is an unidentified suspect who is believed to have taken the lives of 10 to 16 people over the last 20 years. The victims so far that are known have been sex workers who used Craigslist to advertise their work. After the disappearance of Shannon Gilbert, police were searching an area along the Ocean Parkway, and that is when they began to discover the remains of the victims. The first 4 were found in December of 2010, with another 6 being found in March and April of 2011. As of December 2015, the FBI is now officially involved in the investigation. There has been a suspect in this case, but any formal charges have not been laid in terms of these crimes. The most recent evidence in regards to these cases was a belt found at the scene of the crime, which may potentially belong to the killer. At the same time, it was announced that new scientific evidence was being used in the investigation, but these announcements came just last year, so we have yet to receive any further updates. Hopefully this case is solved quickly so that the families of the victims can receive justice and this terrible person is off the streets.
Well, I've actually heard that one before, because a lot of our favorite like YouTubers actually do like cases on it. I don't know if my two favorites. I have two favorite YouTubers. One is Brittany. What's Brittany's last name?
Vaughn.
Brittany Vaughn. She cracks me up because like she's just a vibe.
Yeah.
And then Bailey Sarian. So we watched all of their. Najee watches it with me. He's so sweet. He watches all of my like makeup people that do true crime situations. So I've definitely heard that somewhere because see, Susan, you've heard it as well. I've heard it on something, and I think maybe it wasn't those two girls, but it was somebody that talked about it somewhere. Hey, Autumn. Hey, Autumn Rain. All right. Summer and Kathy are our moderators. Summer's our day one moderator. Kathy just came on, and we are loving it. Thank you, guys. Especially when we have a lot of people on. Especially when, usually we have like a crazy amount on those Daryl Brooks videos. And we're trying to make sure we build up a lot more love. There's a Craigslist Killer series circa 2011 on Netflix. Wow. All right, let's get back to it, guys. I'm going to just fast forward just a teensy. There we go. Oh, it worked out.
For good. In our number 8 spot today, we have Richard Chase. This evil person is said to have taken the lives of 6 people within the span of a month between 1977 and 1978. That's a lot of people in a very short amount of time, which is absolutely terrifying. Before his crimes, Richard's life was already full of terrible stories and horrific acts that had him spending time in mental institutions before his crime spree. While at these facilities, he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, but after going through treatment and beginning medication, he was deemed to no longer be a threat to society and was released into his mother's care. Here's where things take a turn for the worse, however. Instead of helping take care of Richard, his mother instead weaned him off of his medication and got him all set up with his own apartment. Nice. Really helpful and cool of her. Initially, when he moved into the apartment, he had roommates, but eventually they all moved out and he was alone, which is when things really got wild. He began killing various animals, which he would then eat raw, sometimes mixing the organs with Coca-Cola in a blender and then drinking it. It's horrible. After this, he would unfortunately go on wild. He began killing various animals, which he would then eat raw, sometimes mixing the organs with Coca-Cola in a blender and then drinking it. It's horrible. After this, he would unfortunately go on his killing spree, which had horrific details and would only end when he was startled by a visitor at the home of where his final crime took place. He fled the scene, but he was later caught and stood trial. Although there were many attempts to have him be spared of the death sentence, in the end, this didn't work. In December of 1980, Richard was found passed away in his jail cell after taking too many of his prescribed medication. In our number...
Sheesh.
All right, so it's a little Jeffrey Dahmer. Little baby.
Baby Dahmer.
Baby Dahmer.
That is crazy. Mixing organs with Coca-Cola. Golly, that is wild.
Summer said he looks some. Liz, oh lovely. They said I know that comment came when they said that he blended organs with Coca-Cola. I already know Liz, because me and Liz be right here. Okay. Susan, is this Jeffrey? Bendy, how you doing, Bendy?
What's up, Bendy? Yeah, this little Jeffrey.
This was decades earlier than Jeffrey.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like decades. It was like a decade. They said the 70s. And Jeffrey
what?
Dahmer was in the 70s and 80s.
I'm glad that you just brought this up. Yeah, because he was born in...
Who's he?
Dahmer.
Oh.
He was born in 70... He was born in 60 or 50. He was born in one of those years. So, here's the thing. Between 50 and 70. So, I was thinking about this earlier, right? And the reason why I was thinking about this, my mind works in the chains of events. And I was just thinking, like, I'm glad that my name isn't a common name, right? And I was just thinking as well, I was like, damn, we be watching a lot of this true crime stuff. That's the even worse reason to have a common name.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Dora's comment. This is why we need mental hospitals like the good old days. She said, do a lobotomy. Just drill a hole in his head. He'll be all right. I love her. Sorry, that was just funny. Like the good old days. I love that. That was awesome. Dora cracks me up. Anyway, Liz, no, that comment came when they said his mother got him to stop taking his pills. Doing good now. Sorry, baby. I know you were saying something. Look how angry he looks.
That's good. Come on.
No, go ahead, baby.
It's fine. It's over. Come on.
Oh, it was an accident. I saw the comment. It was funny.
Seventh spot today we have Rodney Alcala. Rodney is a horrible monster who was convicted and sentenced to death for 5 killings that he committed in California from 1977 to 1979. He also received an additional 25 years to life after pleading guilty to 2 other killings in New York in 1971 and 1977. Rodney got away with his crimes for a while because he wasn't the top of the list of suspects because he was said to be the quote charming photographer. Rodney is often referred to as the dating game killer because of his appearance on the show, which, with what we now know about him, is absolutely horrifying. What's crazy is that he actually won the show he was on, but the episode's bachelorette refused to go on a date with him because she found him creepy. This is just a reminder to always trust your instincts. It isn't exactly known just how many victims Rodney had. It is potentially thought that it could be much higher than the number he was convicted for. In July of last year, Rodney passed away in prison at the age of 77. In our number 6 spot today, we have Charles Cullen.
We're trying to stop after each one, right?
We can hear.
What?
You guys, go ahead.
Go ahead, keep watching by then.
This guy used to be a nurse who took the lives of his patients throughout his career, and he may be one of the worst serial killers ever recorded. He confessed to taking the lives of 40 people, but through subsequent interviews, it became apparent that the number was way higher than 40. He just couldn't remember the names of all of them. But, of course, he could remember the details of all of his crimes against them. His crimes started in 1988 and spanned over a decade into 2003. In October of 2003, when a patient at a hospital passed away from low blood sugar, the authorities were called. This person was Charles' final victim, and authorities began looking into him and investigating his past employment history. On December 12, 2003, authorities were arresting him and charging him with only 1 count of his crimes, but he ended up admitting to 40. Wow. He ended up pleading guilty to his crimes and arranged a plea deal where authorities would not seek the death penalty if he cooperated. During one of his court proceedings, he continuously asked the judge to step down and apparently repeatedly chanted for 25 minutes straight, even after he was restrained and gagged for his outbursts. It is thought that his victims might be up in the 400 range, which is truly just unbelievable. In our number 5 spot.
Alright, before we keep going, I do want to point out something. The last one with the dating game shit, that's crazy to me. So you were on a dating show, won it, ended up being a freaking serial killer, but you were on a dating show, won it, and the bachelorette that you won did not want to go on a date with you. Because she, deep down inside, felt like something's fucking wrong with Brady. So, she's on point. And then the nurses that do this shit, like the last guy, the nurses that do that, it's just so horribly sad and scary. Because it's like, dude, like, I trust you. I really trusted you. You killed almost 400 people? Like, Jesus.
It's crazy. This makes me want to look up some of their individual cases, like that last guy specifically. Say he was chanting for 25 minutes. That's interesting. In the wrong way, but it's interesting.
I love that you guys know some of this shit. So you guys are like into everything that we're into.
He was interviewed on 60 Minutes. Wow.
This is why you should meet someone before dating them. I hear you, sister. All right, let's get back to it.
We have John Allen Muhammad and John Lee Malvo. This pair is referred to as the DC Snipers, and they were responsible for a series of coordinated attacks during a 3-week period in October of 2002. The pair took the lives of 10 people and critically injured 3 others during this spree, although their crimes spanned even before this and involved even more people. Their crimes were random and terrifying. People would just be going about their everyday tasks when this horrific pair would strike. Through a series of quote-unquote mistakes the pair made, they were able to be caught by authorities and arrested. In September of 2003, John Allen was sentenced to death, and this sentence was carried out in November of 2009. John Lee, on the other hand, was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences, but very recently it was determined that his sentence needs to be re-looked at because of his young age when the crimes were committed. In our number 4 spot today, we have Lawrence Bittaker and
I just want to see that a little bit more one more time.
Pair is referred to as the DC Snipers, and they were responsible for a series of coordinated attacks during a 3-week period in October of 2002. The pair took the lives of 10 people and critically injured 3 others during this spree, although their crimes spanned even before this and involved even more people. Their crimes were random and terrifying. People would just be going about their everyday tasks when this horrific pair would strike. Through a series of quote-unquote mistakes the pair made, they were able to be caught by authorities and arrested. In September of 2003, John Allen was sentenced to death, and this sentence was carried out in November of 2009. John Lee, on the other hand, was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences, but very recently it was determined that his sentence needs to be re-looked at because of his young age when the crimes were committed.
Okay, I do remember the DC Snipers. Like, that was in our lifetime. Like, we were alive. And that I remember how freaking crazy that whole situation was, too. So, do you remember that? Do you remember the DC Snipers?
Yeah, but I feel like that was more recent. Was that?
No, it's 2002. I remember because I wasn't even living in Chicago yet. I was still living in Colorado Springs.
I guess it was. I don't know. That's crazy. I feel like it was much more recent. It had to be some more DC Snipers.
There have been definitely, like, there's been more snipers, unfortunately, but those two were interesting because, you know, to be honest with you, they were outside of the traditional.
They're black and they're snipers.
No. It was like yes, but it was like very specific because snipers that are typically in the U.S., there's like what is it called? They have a profile. They have a profile, just like serial killers have a profile. So when you're looking for like who would possibly match the profile, well, I say demographic, but it's a profile. They just were completely like they just completely were outside of the entire realm. There's a serial killer, a black serial killer that I learned about recently. The reason why they never found him, or they didn't find him for so long, was because he was black and he was so outside of the profile of what a serial killer usually is, they couldn't find him, and it was so shocking. So his story it's a big story simply because he's so outside of the profile.
Yeah, because I remember the situation. Maybe it was another one specifically. I feel like it was within at least the last 10 years, not 2002. Like, that was, if it is, I don't know, maybe time has been doing its own thing, but I feel like it was within like the last 5 to 10 years of this other one when they were looking for the sniper and they ended up finding them and they were black. It was like this big old thing about it, but I don't know, maybe it's the same thing, I don't know.
They're still talking about the nurse in the comments. All right, let's get back to it, my friends.
In our number 4 spot today, we have Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris. A 2-for-1 of the most horrific kind, this pair was often referred to as the Toolbox Killers. They received this name because most of what they used to commit their crimes would be items normally stored in a household
like a damn
toolbox.
monster.
The pair committed.
Oh my God.
This pair was often referred to as the Toolbox Killers. They received this name because most of what they used to commit their crimes would be items normally.
Okay, guys. Okay. Anybody that saw, not the very first The Fly, but The Fly with Goldblum, and Gina Davis. I'm talking about, this is a very old movie that it was even old for me when I saw it. But Jeff Goldblum looked just like this when he was starting to turn into the damn fly. That's exactly what babe, I gotta find a damn picture.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was so, you never saw The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis? It was so scary to me as a child.
You know, I don't know names, so I have to see it.
It was horrible.
Interesting.
It was horrifying to me. But that's exactly what that fucker looked like. Go ahead. You can keep going. Oh, Dumb Blonde. Hey, girl. You didn't say hi. Hey, baby.
I just saw.
Did you say hi? Did I miss her?
That was her first comment, I think.
Oh. She just hop in like, I gotta say hi. She like family. They don't come in. They just walk in the house like, where's the food?
Bro, man. On the fifth floor.
I mean, like, sis just like, I'm here, y'all. I gotta say hi. We passed that. I said my hi last couple weeks ago. All right, hold on.
Let's go back. What are you about to the comments?
That dude is fugly. Ruben. We didn't even properly acknowledge you, Ruben. I saw you come in. I forgot to say something.
Let's interact with the peoples for a second. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh my gosh, right, Dumb Blonde.
As long as you say it out loud, let's make sure they. Oh, 1986. I wasn't even born.
Let's see.
Why do I know this movie and I wasn't even born?
Pro tip: if your meme mug is ever taken, don't bug your eyes out like that guy. You'll look guilty. That's a fact.
That's how he looks.
Elcar. Naj, are you talking about the one in Arizona? That might be it.
Which one?
I think he's
Tell
talking
me
about
that thing, how that man looked.
Wow. Yeah, that's close. It might be the one in Arizona. I can't recall where it was. I just thought it was DC. I thought it was like DC snipers, and they were like, everybody was surprised they were black, but I don't feel like it was in 2002. Yeah, that's horrible.
That shit scared the shit out of me as a child.
Susan scared the shit out of me too. 2 movies.
Jeff Goldblum really looked fucking crazy. Esmeralda.
Girl.
In the movie Hostel, they murder people with tools. This is facts.
Ooh.
Ruben, Seth Brundle was the character in The Fly. Great movie. Yes, I remember watching the first Fly, like the one that's even older than this original Fly. He's like, help me.
Wow.
And the Fly had the face of a human, but no one could tell because he was so small. I've seen movies I should not. I was not even born. Wait, Dumblon just said something up there. I'm trying to see what she said because we was playing with her. Hi there. I just jumped in. Okay, baby. Hi, Dumblon. Gotta say, feel bad saying that, LOL, because I know you're not. I know. I'm just gonna start calling her Dumbledore. I cannot take it.
Just call her DB.
I'm calling her Dumbledore.
I'm gonna call you DB.
Because she's magical.
Stored in a household toolbox. The pair committed 5 of these crimes in Southern California over a 5-month period in 1979. In the end, what led to their capture was when Roy met up with a friend with whom he had previously been incarcerated with. He confessed to the crimes to this person in great detail, and you know what this person did? They consulted their attorney about this horrifying confession, who then advised them to go to the authorities with the information. Thank goodness. Authorities, while they didn't have the evidence necessary to charge the men with the crimes at that time, were able to, through surveillance, find other things to arrest them for, while they searched their homes to find the evidence that they really did need. The pair stood trial, and in the end, Lawrence was sentenced to death, and Roy, who accepted a plea bargain and agreed to testify against Lawrence, received a life sentence. Lawrence died of natural causes while on death row in December of 2019, as did Roy at the California Medical Facility in 2020. FBI Special Agent John E. Douglas described Lawrence as the most disturbing individual for whom he has ever created a criminal profile. In our number 3 spot today, we have Robert Hansen. Robert is often referred to as the Butcher Baker, and his story truly is
Bendy came through with some shit. Bendy. We are not gonna call Dumbledore DB for Derek Brooks, okay? We gonna respect our baby. Okay, don't play dumb blonde like that, Bendy. Don't do our girl like that, Bendy.
That's funny.
Come on, let's get back to it.
That is funny.
Terrific. He's one of the most prolific serial killers in Alaska's history because for over a decade he would kidnap women and bring them in.
I would say because there's no one in Alaska, so that's why he was the most prolific. Actually, there's a lot of people in Alaska. I was just talking shit though.
Probably down a couple polar bears.
To the wilderness, where he would then stalk them like prey. The reason he got away with his crimes for so long is because outside of these horrifying crimes, he was just a soft-spoken baker. Robert was heading to church by day and prowling the streets at night. What led to the downfall of this horrible monster was a badass named Cindy Paulson who was able to escape from Robert and was sure to leave evidence behind. She then went to authorities and told them what happened, and this led to a search warrant for Robert's property, which is where all the evidence they needed lied. Robert is believed to have taken the lives of at least 17 women, and in 1983 he was sentenced to 461 years and a life sentence without the possibility of parole. In our number 2 spot today we have William Bonin. This horrible person is said to be responsible for taking the lives of 21 young men in Southern California from May of 1979 to June 1980. It is said that on at least 12 of these occasions he was assisted by one of his 4 known accomplices, and it is even speculated that he might be responsible for 15 more of these crimes that evidence hasn't officially been able to connect him to. He was often referred to as the freeway killer because of the fact that most of the bodies were found along the freeway of Southern California. The police surveilled William until they could catch him in the act, which they did. In the beginning he claimed innocence. I mean, they caught him in the act. It's kind of dumb to claim innocence, but after receiving an impassioned letter from one of the victim's mothers, which asked him to please share the location of her son's body, he confessed his guilt. But he made sure to clarify that it wasn't so the mother could be at peace or so that her pain could be eased. No, of course not. Instead, he said, quote, "I was dying for a hamburger and I knew if I went out with the cops, they would get me a hamburger."
Wow. Wow.
That reminds me of the boy.
Yeah, the one that killed the black people from the church. Yeah. Wow. I didn't confess to be a good person. I confessed because I wanted a hamburger.
Who you talking about, Elcar? Which guy?
Alaska serial killer. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about this other guy. The Alaska Cilia. Boy, how much of this have you given me?
All of it.
Is it for real? All of it? Is there any more left?
Like, well, no, I need more.
No, I'm just wondering. Is there any more left?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like some more.
Clearly.
The problem is my tongue is getting in the way of my speech.
It is wild. These are some crazy cases.
Those vans scare me legit. Absolutely. Whenever I see a damn van, I'm like, bruh, I'm getting in the car on the other side. You're not going to get me.
Thankfully, we're in Texas. So, things are a little bit different down here. As far as what you have the ability to do.
No, not for me. I don't have what he has the
ability
to do.
You will.
I don't even want his abilities. I just know you kidnap me, it's going to be a run for your money. I'm Puerto Rican. My mouth is big. I'm going to scream as loud as possible. Even if you knock me out, when I wake up, I'm screaming again. Y'all going to give me back. Aren't they, baby? They going to give me back.
Yeah.
Give me back.
Yeah. Like here.
Huh? Like, where your man at? Go have him come get you.
Let me call him right quick. Let me have a conversation with him.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. We took your wife, but we want her gone.
Like,
We're tired of her.
I'll meet you here.
They won't even want to kill me.
You still about to get popped. I'll meet you.
Stop.
Anyways, let me see what's going on in the chat life.
We got there.
Okay. I agree, some a day. Yeah, I agree too. No, wait, let me see. I don't really think about it like that.
You should think about it like for me as a woman.
Right, yeah. But I'm telling you, like when I see him, if I'm by myself, I don't really think of that.
Yeah, men don't get snatched up in vans.
Shit.
They don't.
I'm surprised.
They don't.
Oh, well, I ain't know. He be everywhere.
Is he
never
the
know.
original Hamburglar? Oh, that's funny. Liz, what she got to say? Liz, I might confess for Fuddruckers, they were good burgers. Me and Naj were just talking about Fuddruckers.
Literally.
Liz, where are you from again? I
Where
forgot.
you from, Liz?
Because I thought Fuddruckers was only in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because, baby, we used to love Fuddruckers before we went vegan.
I had just asked Reina within like the last month or so. I was
Love
like, have you ever
Fuddruckers.
heard of been to Fuddruckers? And she was like, yes. And I was like, the reason I brought it up is because I always called it the wrong name growing up as a kid. I was called it like Fudd Ruggers or something. I don't forget what I used to call it. But I used to always call it the wrong name. But they had the best make-your-own burgers. They were so like huge and great.
And they were charbroiled.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
I remember that. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason why I can say is because we make Impossible Burgers that are so similar now that I feel like I could just go out and get an Impossible Burger and feel like happy about it. But I just wish people would have some more creativity with their Impossibles.
Yeah. It's easy to,
Work the meat.
to
Work
be
the
vegan
Yeah.
in 2022.
Susan, back. Kids have a break and my oldest takes after me. Night owl. I love it.
Nice. What's up, Susan?
Ruben said Reina is higher than a giraffe. I don't get high, actually, but that was funny. I get tipsy. But no, we don't get high.
Although we can.
No, we don't. We don't get high. I mean, you might, but I don't get high.
I said can. I didn't say we do.
I know. I'm saying I don't at all, though. I wouldn't do that. Dora, Liz, fingers up. Kathleen, mostly Italian. I am not quiet, and I use my hands. See, with Italians and Puerto Ricans be on the same wavelength. So, all right. I'm from VA, East Coast. I knew it. But they don't have any around here anymore. Yeah, they started closing them down.
They shut them down. Wait, did they shut the one down in what was that? Lombard or Oak Brook?
It was Oak Brook. They shut it down.
They shut it down. Yeah.
Ruben Garcia, if a white man pulled up with the taco sign, I'm jumping in. This boy loves him some tacos. Oh my God, he loves tacos. All right, let's get back to the video, guys. It's so funny.
First trial, the prosecutor described him as, quote, the most arch-evil person who ever existed. William was convicted on 14 of his crimes and was sentenced to death. He spent 14 years on death row before his sentence was carried out in 1996. In our number one spot today, we have Israel Keys. Israel is quite a prolific serial killer and truly is a terrifying person. While everyone on this list is horrible, Israel is particularly scary because of the fact that he had no MO or type. He just killed at random. In fact, he was so prepared for these random crimes that he left kill kits all over the US so that he would be prepared for whenever whoever he chose crossed his path. It isn't quite clear how many of these crimes he committed, and many missing persons reports that are still open could potentially be linked to him. It is said that Israel had a sort of admiration and obsession with other prolific serial killers like Ted Bundy or Robert Hansen, who we already talked about today. He even said, quote, I probably know every single serial killer that's ever been written about. It's kind of a hobby of mine. So creepy. In March of 2012, Israel was finally apprehended and was to stand trial for his crimes, but unfortunately, while waiting for trial, he went on to take his own life. He left behind a note and a drawing of 11 skulls, which led authorities to believe that this may be the number of victims he had. Starting off in our number
That is
Hold on, let me get you over here, baby.
very, very sad. So
He
it
left
really
kill
sucks
kits
that
in certain areas so he could kill people faster.
get it done quick. It is really sad. You know what's messed
That's
up
fucking weird, man.
is that everybody has access to everything now today, right? So what's interesting is I know there's like, for example, within true crime, there's individuals that don't know that they're like, it intrigues them that when you are exposed to it, it's just interesting, but you would clearly never want to partake. It's just like interesting that these type of things have happened in the past and are currently happening, which I would categorize.
Yeah, like medieval times. I don't know if I can be back there.
Right.
First of
which
all, I don't know if I'd be in a good position. But second of all, I don't want to be in medieval times. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I would categorize myself as that. Like, it's never something that was ever interested in. Really, honestly, I was just talking to my mom about this, like until like I met Reina and she started showing me like these different creators and things like that, and I'm like, that's interesting. Oh wow, that's a crazy story. Well, I heard about that person, but I never knew their story, and it's just interesting. And it's sad because these are real events that happen, but at the same time, it's just intriguing, right? That shit like this is happening in life. So, like, she started sharing, like she mentioned in the beginning of the live, like different creators and how they talk about the situations, and then I actually became interested, and I'll like pull up the stuff, whatever, when we driving or cruising and just
Yeah.
listening to stuff, right? But never to partake in being one of the actual characters that are actually doing these type of things. And it's like he mentioned, like, man, it was almost like a source of inspiration for this food to partake in the things that he was learning about, which is just sad, right? It's like, for me, it was like part of history, unfortunately, and you're learning about it because it's like new information, and you know, also you're learning things from it. You're learning to better equip yourself and things like that, and it's just also, you know, just a source of just like information or whatever. But to hear that people are actually taking this information and applying it to their life and putting in kits and things like that throughout the states so that you can be prepared to take action on these type of things, it's just crazy. It's literally wild to plan that far ahead, that you planning kits in different areas that you may frequent. Like, that's very sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed.
What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's absolutely wild. I think that like when we talk about Nikolas Cruz from the Parkland shooting, he was very, very familiar with the other school shooters and shootings that has happened. He knew the type of guns they used. He knew the way that they came in. He knew their whole process because he had an interest in it and wanted to do it. Yeah. So you start to learn and research it. So sometimes like we have an interest in it just because it's so fantastical. It's so wildly crazy and outside of a life we would ever live. But once you start to like look at something with interest, it's almost like how much I like UFC. I love UFC. I love watching UFC. I don't train for UFC, but there was a moment in my life where I was like, man, I like it so much. I'd go to a UFC gym. Like, I'd love to learn more about it. I'd love to try to get into it. And I asked Naj, like, baby, can I go to UFC? He's like, hell no, they ain't gonna be whooping your ass. So so I never ended up doing it. But I could have had an interest where I watched it a lot and really was like, this is crazy. And then finally was like, well, let me see if I can, like, maybe I can, like, learn how to fight. I don't know. I'm going to try and, like, get in there and see if I enjoyed it. And that's the same mindset, I think, that people have with anything they're interested in. Even if it's something, especially violent and horrifying.
Yeah.
Dumbledore said, I hear you, Kathy Cool. I'm half Italian and half Polish, so... I think that was to our comments we had earlier where we were like, you try to take us, we gonna be loud, baby. You're not gonna take us quietly. Dumbledore, do you speak Polish? Because I know some Polish. Let me get my words together.
Go ahead, spit that, shorty. Say your talk.
I might be saying it wrong because it's 11:38 at night. I don't know how to say good night, but I know how to say dzień dobry.
Oh.
I know how to say thank you. Dziękuję.
Was that good morning?
I think it's good morning or hello. I can't remember. I know Ukrainian better. Then dziękuję is thank you. Do widzenia is goodbye. Listen, I worked in banking, okay? So I know how to say all the greetings and hellos and goodbyes in like 17 languages.
So, I know how to say shin shin.
But shit. I have a Chinese employee. She's like shit. I say it wrong too. But it's like shit.
Yeah.
She taught me something just the other day too, of how to say something else, and then it's like, ni hao or chin hao. Anyway,
I'm thinking ni hao.
Ni hao. I have a Vietnamese employee too, and I feel like ni hao is Chinese and chin chow or chin hao is Vietnamese. I gotta go ask him again. Okay, let's get to it. Dumbledore said, "Yikes." Elcar, I hate people that kill people and then kill themselves. Coward.
Yeah.
For real. Take your
Yes.
goddamn punishment, punk. Can't stand that
like,
shit.
let's stay
It
on
really
that for a
bothers
second, right
me.
fast, before we move on. Like, that is like the worst. Like, you gonna take other people's lives, like you take other people out, and then you take the easy route out. You gonna smoke yourself. Like, no. If that's gonna be the deal, if you gonna
If
go
you so badass,
right, like go through whatever comes with it. If you
Take
gonna
this
go out
L.
here and especially if they innocent, it's one thing is if like y'all at war, if it's like let's just say gang banging or something. Let's just say it's like criminals.
most gangbangers don't even kill the other gangbanger. They kill the innocent children
I'm
walking down
saying
the street.
right, but I'm saying like if it's understood on both sides that y'all are at odds against each other, whatever it may be. But if it's something that where you are innocent and right, or you going after someone that's innocent and then you take yourself out, like how weak is that?
Very weak.
Like if y'all are literally like at odds, y'all at war, like I mentioned, if it's gangs, if it's like countries, if it's like real war, that's one thing. But if it's like a situation where you just targeting innocent individuals and then you take yourself out, like that's the weakest thing of all time.
Weakest thing of all time. I agree with you, baby. What's this one say?
Esmeralda, no one is getting away with this stuff anymore with the cameras. Isn't this what I just got through saying? Like in today's world.
Can you finish reading it?
In today's world, let me see. With cameras everywhere, example, Brooks, the guy in Memphis who killed the jogger in his van, etc.
Yeah.
Literally, because there's no way to get away. So people down to today, they're tracking your phone device, your activity. That's the reason why they have location dropping. That's the reason why they have all these different apps. And they market it, right? They market it as to make it easier. For example, we just went to the movies. And when you download, for example, like AMC app, right? They let you find your local AMC by putting in your location. And they'll find the closest one that's near to you. But with that, when you accept that, they also know where you're going. They also know where you've been. They can track every single point that you've dropped and that you touched. And if you got your phone with you when you're driving the vehicle, they know everywhere that you're going. All these little things are tracked. So when you're trying to commit or get away with certain things, or you're texting a certain person, or you're doing anything that has to do with your cellular device today, you're getting caught. You commit a crime, you're getting caught. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Hold on 1 second. Susan, Reina, and Naj, are you two in Texas? Totally distracted. Looked up food workers. They're going to open more in Texas, maybe like 10.
Wow.
I hope to God they open something that has a vegan burger for us, because yes, we're in Texas, we're in Dallas. If they figure out how to make a goddamn vegan burger the way they make their shit,
It's very simple. Throw the impossible, throw the beyond on that.
you know, Esmeralda be coming through with it. Bucks are 8-0.
Wow. Oh yeah, they're the only undefeated team in the league right now.
Dumbledore says, I
doing
know
their
most
thing.
of those swear words in Polish.
I'm calling it right now, although it's not like a wild take. It's not anything like absurd. But I got the Warriors and the Bucks in the finals, and then I also got that going to 7 games, possibly with the Bucks winning, depending on health of Middleton.
Yeah. All right. I wonder if serial killers avoid cell phones. No, because half the time they fucking dumb anyway. I don't think they avoid cell phones at all. But there were a lot of people that have killed people and say that they're somewhere else, but their cell phones pings them by the crime. Which lets me know. I mean, honestly, watching this shit really be telling you, like, if you ever did have to do it, go, you know where to put your phone.
Especially because, think about it, like in today's world and the way that we operate, right? If you look at people that are older, like Gen X, baby boomers and such.
Aren't we Gen X?
Babe, we're millennials.
Oh, right.
Like people that are our previous, people that are our parents, right? We're late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. That's our age group, right?
We're not mid 30s yet.
You guess somewhere in between there. So people that are our parents, right, or a little bit older, 10 years older, 20 years older, 30, 40 years older, all of them had to drive around with maps. Literally had to drive around with maps. They weren't able to have the ability that we have right now, which is having phones to type in wherever we're going and then just follow the map, right? We're so dependent on our maps now, and today we're so dependent on our phones, we won't be able to get up the street. The majority of us without our cell phone. We're literally so dependent on putting in a location and driving there. And what I try to do is like learn from it. I try to like put in the location and just remember certain routes and like go certain ways and look at the streets and look at the map and just like pinpoint certain names when I'm driving, which is why I do like the phones because they help me learn quicker. But in today's world of people that are killers, they're trying to do this thing, they're definitely dependent on their phones. And it's really hard to not use your phone to get around to different places, right? Especially if you're around, the 30 age group or younger. It's very hard, very difficult. So I definitely think that those individuals are using their cell phones. I don't think that they're avoiding it. They may try to, but they ain't getting nowhere too far. They'll be killing within a certain radius for sure.
To the people saying that we are babies, first of all, thank you. We appreciate you because we have to operate around people that are younger than us all the time. So it is refreshing to be considered young again. Thank you. Second, I want to
go ahead. Listen to you.
Second, I want to say we are wise beyond our years, and most of our friends are older. So that might be why you're here.
Oh, you said babies.
Ruben did too. Zaza!
Oh, you guys are babies. Yeah, here's the thing. Check it out.
Oh, we got to get back to the video, though.
When we say babies, that is, you got to keep in mind.
I'm a baby.
Based off of how we learn and how we think, right? And the knowledge that we consume, the babies today, the 20-year-olds today are geniuses. 20-year-olds today, you got to think about which area, right? The individuals you're talking about, because the people that are doing the right things, that are in the right environments and are consuming the right information, like are able to what would usually take us 10 to 20 years to gather of experience. They're reading the right books. They're consuming the right podcasts. I don't know if that makes them
geniuses. It just is called evolution. You're using what the last generation created and moving on from that.
Yeah.
And not to take away from anything from them, but it doesn't mean that they're smarter than the last generation. It means they're utilizing. It's a continuous compound of intelligence. You are adding on to the intelligence of your previous generation. So being able to add on to that is, amazing. It's like exactly what we need. But it doesn't mean that the last generation, the generation before that, and before that, were not as impactful or intelligent. I'm about to go real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, but I think that...
I'll be right back. Okay, but you can keep...
I think that when you take advantage of that and you actually leverage that to your ability to do whatever you're trying to do is excellent, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people will know that they have the access to information and they won't take advantage of that. But let's see. Happy Friday. Time for some tequila and true crime. Zaza. What's up, Zaza? Do you prefer Zaza or Zara? Let me know. We'll make sure we're calling you that. Let's see what else we got. Let me scroll back because I think I missed a lot. We were having good conversations. Oh man, I missed a lot. Hey y'all. Okay. Yep. Until we get this bot out. Let's see. Dallas is too far away from legal Esmeralda. Facts though. Let's see what else we got. Gen X. There's some of Gen X. Evidently, I guess we are millennials. I am 32 years old. I'll be 33. What is this? November, December, January, February, and 3 months. I'll be 33. Let's see what else we got. Bucks and Suns in final. There we go. Esmeralda. Esmeralda, you know your NBA. Babies. Yes, we are babies. you know. Let's see. Okay, let's go down. My hubby said that his dad would do a triple A and get maps to plan summer vacations. I still remember printing maps on MapQuest. MapQuest is. I remember MapQuest. What was it? It was MapQuest and it was another one. What was the other one called that was similar to MapQuest? It came a little bit after MapQuest, I think. Let's see. OMG, yes. Huge road maps, no cell phones, just landmines and telephone booths. Yeah, yeah. I ain't that young. I remember all that. All that was popping in the 90s as well, too. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Kathy. Hey, Zaza. Hey, we really appreciate all of you all being so consistent with us and being like the founding members. Let's see. Elcar. Fun fact, I was the first person in my country to repair pager screens in your country. Where you from, Elcar? Drop the low. Where you from? um, what country are you from? Maybe Esmeralda, but I still say get out and vote. Get out and vote. Maybe I missed that comment or reply.
Are you gonna set the video?
Hold on, I'm just checking through the comments right fast. I have no idea what Beto does. I have a party. I have a party, a grocery job. Same job I had 25 years plus ago. Okay, that's surrounded by teens, early 20s. Party time. Interesting. You always need backup options. No ribbon, who's that? We can go Zaza. Okay.
I'm gonna get back to the video.
Okay, hold on, let me just run down right fast. I asked Elcar what country he's from because he said in his country he did certain things. My son is 33. We right on target. Oh, sorry, talking about me. Okay. Oh, wow. Canada weed is legal everywhere. County. Oh, he tried to say county. Okay. County, not country. Okay. Gotcha. Reina, what's your next holiday thing gonna be?
I'm glad you asked, girl. Because if it was up to me, Halloween would be 24 damn 7.
She did mention that. She did say that. She said she would stay in Halloween Town and haunted houses will be all year round.
I just wish I could have stayed in Halloween forever. But I already started ordering a Christmas glass I'm trying to figure out. And me and Naj have our own glasses that are coming for Naj and Reina.
Yes. Thanks for mentioning that, babe. So,
sorry, I'm eating olives.
Let's make sure that you all are all subscribed to the YouTube channel. Whoops. Make sure that you all are subscribed to the YouTube channel. All right. So if you're not subscribed, tap that subscribe button. Make sure that you like the video. We got about 20 people in or so. And only about 10 people that have liked it. All right. So make sure that you like it. We also have the Patreon down here. So we have the majority of our individuals, the first 4 to 5 people that have joined the Patreon. It's only $8 right now, but there's only 20 slots available for the $8 pricing. All right, so make sure that you become one of the founding members. We're going to be dropping exclusive videos on there. In addition to that, we have the Naj Reina.com, Naj Reina.com, and that's where all of our wine glasses will be. We'll have our coming in. Check it out. And make sure that you all support the growth of the channel so we can keep going live and have this conversation and enjoying ourselves, all right? having a good time, building community, and having fun.
I love that. Zaza, my baby said, same girl, love Halloween. Watched Nightmare Before Christmas tonight. Gave me all the feels. I really hope I can find a Nightmare Before Christmas wine glass. Maybe that'll be what I'll do. That way I can keep with my heart, but still be with the theme. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Summer. All right, guys, let's get back to the video.
10th spot, we have Quincy Allen. Quincy Allen is a man who went on a crime spree between July and August of 2002 where he took the lives of 4 people. His crime spree was actually inspired while he was in prison serving time for stealing a vehicle. It was here that a fellow inmate decided to start recruiting others and told him that he could get Quincy a job as a mafia hitman. When Quincy was released, he decided to buy a shotgun so he could start practicing. Man, I really wish he showed this kind of dedication to literally anything else. Quincy started off this horrific crime spree on July 7th, 2002 by attacking a 51-year-old homeless man who was sleeping at the time. Luckily, this man was able to survive the attack. His crimes continued until he was arrested on August 14th, 2002. After his arrest and trial, Quincy received a sentence of death and is still on death row awaiting execution. His sentencing did not deter him from the criminal life, however, as in 2009, Quincy, along with another inmate, planned an attack on a correctional officer at the prison they both reside at. Quincy was intended to be executed on January 8th, 2010, but there was a stay of execution that was accepted, and as of July 26th, 2022, literally just over a month ago, Quincy's death sentence was overturned. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Golden State Killer. The Golden State Killer is one of the...
So he didn't get death?
He had death, but then in 2022, it got overturned, I guess.
Why?
Because people are fucking weird. You know, they bring up your past, they bring up your upbringing, they bring up your age, they bring up if you sneeze too hard, if your ass itch too much. They bring up every goddamn thing. You're killing all these people. Why are we overturning this?
Yeah.
I mean, are y'all serious? Like, let these motherfuckers go. I don't get it.
See, like in situations like that, let's
You're
just say
already sentenced.
let's just say you were young when whatever the original crime you did. Okay, let's just give the benefit of the doubt. You in prison and you're a grown man. Years go by and you talking about killing the, what they call them? What's the PO or whoever? Somebody in the prison, the guard.
CO, the correctional officer, sorry.
You talking about killing the guard years and years later when you're a grown man. What are we holding on to? Why are you still alive? What is your purpose of being here? You still doing the same shit while you in jail trying to kill an officer? What are we talking about? Why you need it?
Yeah. Dora, I'm glad you kind of got us to this question. It's a great question. So, guys, which serial killer shocked you all the most?
Good question.
I think it's a great question. Thus far, I think the one that shocked me the most. Let me think. What do you think? Which one shocked you the most?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember them all.
The dating game killer and the Alaskan killer. Those two. I don't know. I think because the Alaska one looked so normal and sweet and small and docile. Those ones throw me off a lot because it's just like, dude.
I'm gonna have to say the one that killed the 400 people though.
That's the nurse.
Yeah. Because they said it was like, they thought that he killed like 1 or 2 and then he admitted to like 3 or 4 and then they found out there was like 400. Nah, bruh. Nah.
Yeah, it's just...
I'll be right back.
It's just wild. I'm so glad. Yeah, so it's just wild. So, oh, Bryn. Hey, girl. Welcome back. We remember you. The 99 and 2000. Oh, Car, you're so silly. Yeah, Richard Ramirez was awful. Angel was also awful just because of his damn name. That bastard. The Alaskan and the nurse. Okay, so a lot of you guys agree with the nurse being the worst. Yeah, so I guess you guys are kind of like vibing with Naj on that. You should wiki Ed Gein and read about him. He was the Wisconsin serial killer of 50s. Oh, baby, I don't need to wiki about him. I know all about Ed Gein. We know, like, I know all about Ed Gein's crazy ass. Me and my employees be talking about this shit all the time. It's so funny. Like, me and my employees watch stuff at work that we should not be watching. And I'm like their manager, like, pull this up. Go pull this up and look at this. Watch that. Go in the back. Just go in the back for a few minutes and watch this. Like, we need help with customers. I'm like, just go in the back for a few minutes. Just watch this real quick. Because, like, we all are into true crime and serial killers. The Toolbox duo was very scary. Look up the documentary. I'm going to look up the documentary, Dora. Yeah, agreed. I mean, outside the fact that they look like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly in 1986, it was absolutely crazy. So, let's see, Susan. Oh, I do think the person on here who said the railroad hobo gets the best comment. Who said the railroad hobo? Was that? Damn. I forgot who said railroad hobo. I feel like it was Liz. I learned about oh baby, this word. Dnipropetrovsk. Maniacs of Ukraine recently. Brutal. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Hold on. Dnipropetrovsk. Is either the D is silent or the N is silent. I don't know. I'm not good with it. I don't know how to do it. Bye, Kathy. Come on back, baby girl. I don't know how to pronounce that, Zaza. But I do know some words in Ukrainian. But that ain't it. That is not the one I know. Was it you, Dora? Oh, it was Dora. Dora was the one that said that. All right, guys. Well, let's get back to the video real quick and see. The initial video is done, but we're going to keep watching some videos. So let's keep going.
Most famous serial killers of all time, and he managed to elude police for 30 years. From 1973 to 1986, the GSK was responsible for taking the lives of 13 people, harming 50, and 120 different burglaries all across California. Throughout the investigation process, he used different tactics to both taunt and threaten police and victims, which is just another level of being messed up. If you don't know how this story ends, buckle up though, because it is wild. So you know those like family DNA tests like 23andMe where you send in your DNA and then they send you back your genealogy? Well, basically these kinds of services helped identify who the real Golden State Killer was. In 2018, when Detective Paul Holes and FBI lawyer Steve Kramer uploaded the Golden State Killer DNA profile, which they were able to obtain from the crime scenes, to the website GED Match, they were able to find 10 to 20 people who had the same great-great-great-grandparents as this DNA match.
Wow.
From there, a genealogist made a large family tree, and then they were able to single out two main suspects. After covertly collecting DNA samples from one of the suspects and comparing them to the crime scene DNA, they were finally able to arrest Joseph James D'Angelo, who is the Golden State Killer. After decades of waiting, the victims of his crime—
Wow, that is some next level shit. They use Ancestry.com to come get this man? That's crazy. That is absolutely wild. Let me see. Hold on. You did pretty good. Thank you. In Ukrainian. Don't know that one. Yeah, that makes translation better. I'm just going to say this shit I know in Ukrainian just because I want to practice it out. And if you guys, I'm assuming you guys must know Ukrainian, so you just go ahead. Hold on. It don't matter if I'm saying things that make sense. Just listen to my accent and tell me if I'm doing okay, okay? Добрий день. Як справи? Гарна вишиванка. Гарна вишиванки. Oh, вишиванка. I can't remember. And then there's добрий. I forgot how to say thank you. But then I know до побачення. That's my Ukrainian. I'm so embarrassed. Can you not look so unimpressed?
Well, I'm just thinking like I don't know none of this.
Just try to look like you impressed by me, because they probably know I'm fucking up, but you can at least look like, damn, my baby know a little something.
Mm-hmm.
I do know a little bit more than that. Like if I'm talking, I used to know a lot more. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, but Reina is not on point like she used to be. Okay, I did just do third person. Oh my god, I'm Daryl Brooks. Let's see.
Wait, what? Stop that right now.
I've had a lot to drink. Let's see what we have here. He was actually cute when he was young. It's a shame, isn't it? A lot of them are cute when they're young. And they turn into mass murdering serial killer bastards. Oh my God, think about it. You send me send a DNA ancestry 3 and me. You are connected to a serial killer.
That sucks.
Listen, my mom found out that her ancestors were like one of the like originating people. Never mind. Of a group of people that are very bad to people of color. The Golden State Killer was up here in Sacramento, California. Damn.
Oh, you in Sacramento?
You rocked it. Hey. Zaza said, I don't know Ukrainian, so sounds good to me. I was hoping one of y'all knew what the hell I was saying.
That's what I was thinking.
That's funny.
Like, all I heard was Dobre.
I will tell you that I've been to Ukrainian fest and I use my Ukrainian and they're like, I don't know if they're impressed or like kind of confused, but they'd be like this, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm speaking that shit. I got you. I believe in diversity. All right. A lot of people going to get, oh no. Oh, Elcar, I accidentally clicked ban. And I almost banned my boy, and I would have hurt me so deep if I accidentally was clicking too fast.
I'm gonna ban him.
A lot of people going to get caught off Ancestry. Susan, yes, Kathy, me too. I'd be deleting my family tree. Esmeralda, that's perfect Spanish. I love her. I don't have a problem with Spanish. It's the Ukrainian for me. I found I'm connected to a famous madam in New York. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
My mother found out that we were related to like somebody that's like a king in Ireland, Shirley Temple, and somebody else.
We're related to Ricky Smiley. I never met him.
That's not a cute thing. Are you actually related for real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oops. Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Continues.
Bren, I'm so sorry. I had pretty intense foot surgery last week and still in great pain. See you with the next time hugs. Oh, Bren, I remember you saying you had foot surgery. I hope that you're doing well. Keep your foot up high and rest like we talked about. But I hope you feel better. We see you next time, Bren. I'm sorry. Poor baby.
Keep it elevated.
Don't bear me, please. It was such an accident, Elcar. I'm so sorry. All right, let's get back to it real quick, guys.
Were finally able to see justice served as he was sentenced to 12 life sentences plus 8 years. He was spared the death penalty because he admitted to numerous crimes he had perpetrated, some of which he wasn't even being charged for. He is now 75 years old and will definitely spend the rest of his life in prison. In our number 8 spot today, we have David Berkowitz. David Berkowitz, or the Son of Sam, is an American serial killer who terrorized New York from July of 1976 to July of 1977. He took the lives of 6 people and wounded 7 others, all while eluding the biggest manhunt in New York City history. He was one of those arrogant ones who leaves like little notes for the police promising to do it again, but his arrogant self was caught for his crimes and he was arrested on August 10th, 1977 and was indicted for his crimes. He confessed to all of them and claimed that he was just obeying the orders of a demon that had manifested itself in the form of a dog that belonged to his neighbor. He was found mentally competent.
Obviously, there's a lot of stories about Son of Sam. He's a very notorious serial killer. About Son of Sam, with his bullshit lies about being told by a demon that came in the form of a dog. Did anybody ever believe this? Was this at all believable? Like, at all? Did any of us ever think, like, I mean, maybe, like, a fucking Rottweiler did come talk to him.
Why they blame everything on the dogs?
Because dogs can't talk back.
I mean, the dogs ate your homework. The dogs, the demon. It's a dog. They get labeled as the...
Real quick, it really puts me in the mind of a question if you guys are still really engaged. And if you're in, please like, comment, subscribe. But certainly just let us know you're here. But it makes me wonder, honestly, do we really believe some of the shit that these people, say? I mean, like, they found him mentally competent for trial. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is going on here? Hold on, let me see what Ruben said. My dad's name was Sam, and that makes me the son of Sam too. But I'm a gooder person. It's the grammar for me. I love you, Ruben. But that hurt me deep. I love it. The dog farted. Yeah, I'm just being like, for real though. Like, it's just like, it boggles my mind, like, how weird and how, like, we're able to say these things, and actually it might possibly work in court. Just crazy. All right, let's go.
To stand trial, and he pleaded guilty to his crimes, which left him sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences. He later admitted to making up the dog story, which, like, yeah, duh, but he did say that he was a member of a violent satanic cult and his crimes were committed as a part of that.
Wow.
These claims were investigated, but no one has ever been able to confirm or deny them. In our number 7 spot today, we have Tex Watson. Tex Watson was one of the central members of the Manson family, which was led by Charles Manson, and he was a willing participant for the horrible Tate and LaBianca crimes that took place on August 9th and 10th, 1969. In October of 1969, Tex knew his arrest was coming, so he fled to his home state of Texas, but was later arrested and extradited back to California. Once he was in California, he refused to talk or eat and ended up losing 55 pounds, which got him sent to get tested to see if he was fit to stand trial, which he was. In 1971, he was convicted on 7 counts of first-degree unalive and 1 count of conspiracy to commit unalive. He originally received a death sentence, but it ended up being commuted to life in prison. Get this, you guys, though, he was able to release a book while in prison, and he got married, and through conjugal visits, he was able to have 4 children. 4 children. But thankfully...
No.
And that, my friends, is exactly why I say I do not agree with life sentences. Send they stupid asses to jail. So you have conjugal visits, so you can fuck. Excuse me, that was so extra vulgar. But I'm just so upset. You can have sex.
So wait a minute.
I feel bad saying the F word so harsh, but I just was so angry. I just had to get.
So this is what I don't get. I don't even know what I really wasn't even listening to what he did, but the fact
paying attention.
The fact that you got life, right? That tells me enough right there.
And made 4 children.
You were able to reproduce this horrible DNA that you have and replicate other human species to continue this path of demonicness, I'm guessing, because, like, you got life.
This is hard for me.
Clearly took other people's lives. I just don't, some stuff like, and again, let me clarify with that last live that we did when I was talking about life, right? When you take a person's life, you shouldn't get regular life where you just live in a normal prison life. You should get the worst of the worst. If you took someone's life, you should get the worst possible life that you can get. And I shouldn't say if you take someone's life, because there are situations where it should be understood where if you take someone's life, whether it's self-defense or whether it's, their circumstances, right? But to actively go out and seek innocent individuals and take their lives at your own leisure when you're ready for fun or whatever your crazy mental capacities tells you to do, there are certain situations that you should not be able to put yourself in after that when you receive life, like having sex. No.
So you get nothing. To enjoy the warmth of a woman while
Absolutely
being
not.
in jail? Like, that part just fucks with my head. I gotta listen to this one more time. It really fucks with me. Like, you really did all this shit and then you still have 4 children?
Guys, though, he was able to release a book while in prison, and he got married, and through conjugal visits, he was able to have 4 children. 4 children. But thankfully in 1996 they banned those kinds of visits for people serving life in prison, and in 2003
Yeah, it's called the Son of Sam law now, actually.
he got divorced because his wife had met someone else. Like, I hope so. In our number 6 spot today, we have Scott Erskine. Early in life, Scott began to commit violent crimes against others that I truly cannot even speak about here on YouTube. They're so bad.
So I'm glad that they banned it. I'm glad that they got rid of it. But also, it's kind of messed up that he was able to get 4 children out of this situation. Like, that's pretty sad. But it was like 1996.
4 children with no father at home. 4 children that will never have a father in the home. Never have, like, their family. Like, that sucks.
Wait, so his kids are probably around our age.
I don't know. Not our age. They were born in the 90s.
Why not?
He was in jail in, like, the 70s. All his pictures are black and white.
Yeah, but when did he actually start? They didn't say when he started
Immediately.
reproducing. You just saying things. They didn't say we started
Dora, I
reproducing.
have an early morning. This live was totally fun. Talk to you later. Good night. Night, Dora. We love
Good
you
night,
per
good
usual. We love when you come in. Susan, totally off subject. Are you planning, not till January, on covering the Daybell case or the suitcase case? Possibly. By the way, Reina, your buzz is giving me life.
We're jotting that down.
Do I look too buzzed? I hope not.
Not
It is
much.
wide in reactions.
Was it Daybell
Case and the suitcase case.
suitcase?
If you sus Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tex Watson was supporting character in it. Damn.
We're gonna take a look at those 2 cases, or that one case that's labeled different ways.
Oh, she said if you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tex Watson was supporting character in it. Damn. I've been listening to you, bro. You sound professional.
Appreciate it.
He is professional. And these women, Night Dora. Hey, Jennifer. Nice to see you, girl.
What's up,
Once
Jennifer?
someone takes a life and gets life sentence, not being able to give life should be a stipulation. I completely agree.
Absolutely.
I wonder, did his wife divorce him because they changed the law so she couldn't get any nookie? And,
Oh, that's a good point.
And passing on that DNA should be a violation by itself. Honestly, I agree with that
Your
as well.
genetics should be banned from reproducing.
I mean, the reality is that a lot of these things are generational curses. Like, there is reality to that. Like, let's not like act like there's no reality to that. You could be adopted and somebody is, you never met your real parents, but you act like them. Let me give you an example. I have a cousin that never met his father, who's my uncle. My uncle passed. Never met his father. He does shit just like him. Darius.
Yeah.
He acts just like my Uncle Pepe. It's the weirdest thing because they've never met.
They ain't got to.
He was not raised in our family. His mother raised him with his family. We found him when he was 16. But he was already, like, everything about him reminds me of my Uncle Pepe. And it's like, how are you acting like this man and you don't know him? But imagine if my Uncle Pepe was a fucking serial killer.
They call it being hardwired.
Imagine if my uncle was crazy or a serial killer or somebody that was abusive or an alcoholic or all these other things. It's like,
Yeah. Like if you study like neuroscience, if you get into that whole perspective, like we are all wired certain ways. Like we can retrain ourselves, but we're also hardwired a certain way. And that's based off our genetics, our DNA, our, also nutrition, those type of things. So we start to act a certain way. But there's the great book that's, I think it was by John Arden, something like that. But it's called Rewire Your Brain.
yeah.
And basically, he talks a lot about that, how neuroplasticity, how you're able to rewire certain ways that you function. But we are hardwired to some extent based off of our parents and our grandparents and those type of things. So it's something to get into, but check it out if y'all get a chance. It's called Rewrite Your Brain. It has the audio book, but also the soft cover, hardcover book as well.
You guys are definitely piquing our interest in the suitcase case. So we'll definitely look into that one. I think that's gonna be really exciting. Overall, I just get kind of blown away by everything when it comes to that.
Yeah. That's what we got. The suitcase case is crazy. Sis,
We just had that up for a while.
As suitcase.
Make sure you say it out loud.
They can see it. Okay, summer day. I saw when the suspect was arrested, but lost touch. Okay. Yes, exactly, Naj. I'm not exactly sure what that was towards. I don't say a lot. Video of him saying he can't breathe on her phone.
That's for the suitcase case.
Oh, wow. I'm interested now. We're going to have to check out the suitcase case next then. My bad, sister. I mean, you've been dropping jewels.
Some jewels yourself. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Generational curse is very real, for sure.
Interesting. Summer day. Wow.
So they're talking about the case, so we probably should leave those off for later. Let's get back to this and try to wrap up some videos.
He spent 4 years in prison for one of these crimes when he was around 17 years old, but when he was paroled after the 4 years, he immediately began committing crimes again. In 1993, Scott invited a woman who was waiting for the bus into his home and ended up holding her hostage for several days. After letting her go, he was quickly arrested and ended up being sentenced to 70 years in prison. This is when he had to submit DNA to a database, and in March of 2001, that DNA was matched when the cold cases of the unsolved killings of Jonathan Sellers and Charlie Keever were reopened. In 2004, a jury sentenced him to death, and 6 days later he was transferred to San Quentin. In an interesting turn of events, Scott did die on death row, but it wasn't due to a scheduled execution. Scott died a couple of years ago in July of 2020 after contracting COVID-19.
Wow.
In our number 5 spot today, we have Charles Ng. Charles' story starts off shortly after he moved to the United States on a student visa. He dropped out after his first semester, and soon after he was involved in a hit-and-run accident. He then tried to avoid prosecution by enlisting in the United States Marine Corps, using false documents that stated his birthplace was within the United States. He was arrested by military police a year later for stealing automatic weapons, and then somehow he escaped custody, headed back toward Northern California, and this is where he met Leonard Lake, who is another real piece of work. Charles did end up going away and serving a bit of time, but it was only 18 months and he was back with Leonard, and that is when the two started their crime spree. It is believed that together the pair took the lives of somewhere from 11 to 25 different people. When Leonard was caught and brought in,
I will be damned.
Wow.
I will be damned. Hold on, look at this face. Look at this.
You are
What the hell?
Just smoking people. You ain't got no neck out here.
Out here
killing
looking
people.
like that. Absolutely not. Why your lips so pink? I don't trust you.
My boy neck straight up and down. His head connected.
He look like
to
a
his
toad.
shoulders.
I'm just gonna start roasting him.
His
He's like a
head-
toad.
His head goes straight to his traps. Go back to him. His eyeballs. Look at them eyeballs.
What about his eyeballs?
You know what?
They're ugly.
I'm gonna spare him.
We got.
spare him some
You got
information.
nothing. You got
Let's learn a
nothing.
little bit more about him. What else
Okay,
we
hold
got?
on. I think where someone's leaving.
Oh,
All right, got a jet. Thank you for putting up with my chattiness. I hope everyone has a wonderful sick weekend. Y'all rock.
thank you,
Bye, Susan. Bye, Chuckles.
Have a great weekend. Have fun.
All right, let's see what we got here. You guys are definitely making me want to bring up this suitcase case. Personality disorders can pass down from the mother to the child. Agreed. Creepy.
Maybe we'll check out the suitcase tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow evening.
God looked like a lizard.
Let's see how many people in the chat.
19.
19. Let us know. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all want the suitcase case tomorrow.
What's up with you, the one?
That's just
Give
what
me
it
something
is.
easier.
It's very easy.
This boy still looks like his neck threw up.
He ain't got no neck.
He's creepy.
Let us know. If y'all want the suitcase case, drop the one in the chat.
Not the pink lip, I'm dying.
Tomorrow.
Miss T. Taylor baby. Oh shit. Miss T. Taylor baby here.
What's up, Miss Taylor, baby?
Why his lips so pink? I don't trust him. Laughing like a lot, Reina. Just saying.
Summer.
Something's off about these lips.
What else we got? Kathy wants the suitcase case tomorrow. Drop them ones. Bendy wants the suitcase.
Ooh.
Bendy wants the suitcase.
No,
Everybody wants the
Ruben wants it
suitcase
too.
tomorrow.
Ruben said Juan.
Everybody wants the suitcase case tomorrow.
All right, we're gonna learn about the suitcase case tomorrow. Don't
Tomorrow,
you guys?
everybody wants. We're doing a suitcase case tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night.
All right, let's get back to this real quick.
For questioning, he sneakily took a cyanide pill he had hidden in his jacket and took his own life, but Charles ended up standing trial. He was convicted for 11 of the killings and he remains on death row at San Quentin. In our number 4 spot today, we have Sean Great. Sean is a serial killer who committed a series of crimes from 2006 until he was apprehended in 2016. Throughout his decade of criminal activity, it is thought that he took the lives of at least 5 people. So basically, his story is a little confusing, but in September of 2016, Sean was arrested and later indicted for 2 killings as well as a kidnapping and harming a woman whose 911 call actually led to his arrest. At the same time, in another county next door, he was also being charged with 2 other deaths as well as another one from all the way back in 2016. This final count from all of those years ago was actually an unsolved Jane Doe case who had been unidentified for 12 years. When Sean confessed to this crime, he wasn't even sure who she was, he just said he believed her name was Dana. On May 7th, 2018, Sean was convicted on 2 of the counts, and on March 1st, 2019, he pleaded guilty to 2 of the others, and on September 11th, 2019, he...
What the fuck was that?
What are you?
County next door, he was also being charged with 2 other deaths as well as another one from all the way back in 2016. This final count from all of those years ago was actually an unsolved Jane Doe case who had been unidentified for 12 years. When Sean confessed to this crime, he wasn't even sure who she was, he just...
Boy, you like a motherfucking Let's see. Last thing, hopefully, this isn't too crazy, but sometimes I watch. Put it up, baby. It's going too quick.
Last thing, hopefully this isn't too crazy, but sometimes I watch this YouTube channel called Nambiakam when I do too much true crime, wild animals in Africa. Very peaceful. We actually, it's interesting. I wonder if the people that are into true crime are like all on the same wavelength, because Naj and I started off watching animals things. Why does he call you Rigonda? I can't stand him. But Naji and I started watching animal videos. Then we got into human and ancestral history, ancient Egyptian history, and then somehow he ran into true crime. And now we've been here for quite some time, right, babe?
Yeah. So I've always been into the human history, the humans. I started off reading the book Sapien.
Oh, Sapiens! We read it together. It was great.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So.
What you first said? We didn't read it together.
I read it years before. Babe.
Oh, we read it again together. Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
So I've always been into the beginnings of humans and how that came about, and it was just really interesting to me. But there are so many different things that come about as you just go through different stages of life, and like I mentioned, Reina really got me interested in true crime and things like that, and it's just interesting based off of timing, because I never thought that'd be something I'd be interested in, but now it's golly, these are real people that have done things on this planet. You should probably know about it, And it's like once you get into that world, you start hearing about all these different individuals, and it kind of keeps you wanting to know about it because they're walking this planet as well right now. It's not like it's prehistoric, or anything like that. Like it's still happening, And then it's just interesting just to understand more. And what Reina mentioned about the animals and such is like, do they have their own true crime?
Yeah, I
Is
be
that what
seeing
it
the shit they
is?
doing is fucked up sometimes. They go and act like they cool with a damn antelope and then eat it. It's fucking me up sometimes. It really be messing me up.
They be having their own
Ruben,
little crimes.
you have to explain to me why you keep calling Najee Wakanda. You gotta explain it.
Yeah.
So off topic, Reina and Wakanda.
Elaborate.
Do you do reaction videos?
Is this not a
This
reaction
entire
video?
thing is reactions, brother. I know you probably fuck with me.
I think he trolled it.
You know
But
he likes
I
to
feel
troll.
like,
That's a
yeah.
Leo. You gotta be careful with the Leos.
Yeah.
You can't even. You gotta just wait to see what they say.
Be right back. All right, Kathy.
She's already back.
Can somebody please tell me why people think and a...
All right, Jennifer. Yes, Ray, we were all on the same wave. That's how I found you. After I watched a video on true crime recaps, I saw you guys talking about it. And it felt so real, like friends having a convo. Thank you, Jennifer. That means a lot to us. We try not, we want to keep it real. Like, we don't want to be fake and, try to appeal to people. We just want to be ourselves. And I'm really grateful that ourselves has been enough to really appeal to people in a natural way.
Yeah.
Najee and I we just want to be ourselves and have a good time.
And that's one of the reasons, because Reina finds some interesting topics, but that's one of the reasons why I try to stop her when she tries to talk to me about certain things, and let's just get on the video and talk about it, because
He has to keep me on point with this.
Because she has a lot of good ideas and things that she wants to talk about, and I just feel like it's best to get the first reaction versus me watching it and then having my thoughts about it and reacting to it. I'd rather react to it live with you all so y'all can hear about it as well. Like with the whole Daryl Brooks case, she started talking about it.
He is the reason why Daryl Brooks was on YouTube.
Yeah,
with me.
She started talking, but she's the reason why Daryl Brooks is on YouTube as well, because she brought it up, right? So I just happened to say
for our channel.
Let's wait and then let's talk about it here, because I want to actually hear everything she has to say. Reina has a very compelling way of talking about shit, right? Y'all probably have noticed up to this point where she talks about certain topics and things, and she elaborates things very thoroughly, and it engages you and makes you want to actually listen, right? So when I'm listening to the stuff, and I was listening in the living room, and I'm like, wait, what happened now? I'm like, wait, just stop right there. Let's go in the room and let's record, because I think that everybody else should experience what you're saying right now, so we can get our real first reactions. And that's what led to a lot of you all finding us through the Daryl Brooks situation, because of the topic that she brought up, and I was like, okay, let's record it, and then obviously that's how you all came about finding us. But
yes,
that's the Aquarius. Highlight Kathy right there. Yeah. I don't even think she's talking about me, but
she is. She knows you're an Aquarius.
Oh, I figured somebody else in Aquarius in the chat. Yes, true reaction, because sometimes Naj, be cracking me up. I don't know what I said. Y'all gotta let me know.
Ruben, because he was in a robe yesterday when you opened his robe, it reminded me of Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I forgot about that.
I sure did. I was like, yeah, ha! I did.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
You're gonna be Wakanda forever, baby.
I guess it's forever.
I love it. Ruben, I wish one day, man, Ruben, you really
Wait, where's
me up.
Ruben from? Sacramento, right?
He's from California, I think.
Sacramento, yeah. You two compliment each other like yin and yang.
Thanks, Dumbledore. I am Naj.
That's funny.
She's saying, I think she was talking about you. Yeah, I am talking about you.
Yeah, you two complimenting like yin and yang. Then, what's the rest of it?
Let's see what Jen has to say. Then I heard you guys had recently came to LA. I was cracking up. Y'all were in my hood. I watched every bit of that Brooks trial, but I still come and watch you talk about it. Good-ish. That's really sweet of you guys.
You said recently came to LA. Hey, just so you all know, we
We
have
love
other.
LA.
So we have other channels. We have another YouTube channel called Vegan Bay Fit, and what we're doing on that channel is like when we're going to vegan restaurants and things like that, and just like just different things that we're doing where we're eating vegan foods, different places. The last couple of ones that we had, we were in California. The last couple of ones.
Well, we kind of review restaurants, and we also get invited to restaurants for free to try their food because we have such a large following on Instagram.
Yeah.
We have like over 160,000 people.
Just so y'all know.
Wait, 25, 35, 45, 55. Yeah, over 160,000 people.
Just so that you all know, Reina is famous.
Oh,
right?
baby, don't do that. I'm not.
She's
Don't
popping.
do that.
She's popping. I'll just say on the grams. That's it.
Yeah,
I won't give too many details. But you can see it. You can see it out. Anyways, what? Okay. I was like, what is this?
All right, guys. But anyway, I think we're wrapping up, right, babe?
Yeah.
Let's finish this last video then, real quick.
Said he believed her name was Dana. On May 7th, 2018, Sean was convicted on 2 of the counts, and on March 1st, 2019, he pleaded guilty to 2 of the others, and on September 11th, 2019, he pleaded guilty to the additional count. In the end, he was sentenced to death and has remained on death row since that final plea and sentencing, and he is currently scheduled to be executed in 2025. In our number 3 spot today, we have the Zodiac Killer. This one had to make it on this list because while there are a plethora of terrifying people on this list, nothing is as terrifying as an uncaught serial killer, and the Zodiac is definitely the most prolific of them all. The Zodiac Killer took the lives of 5 people in the San Francisco Bay Area between 1968 and October of 1969. He was most known for targeting young couples or a lone male cab driver. Despite 2 people luckily and thankfully escaping his attempted evil doings, he has still never been caught. While no one has heard from the Zodiac since 1974, the case remains active in many different counties, and maybe one day we'll finally know who the real Zodiac is. In our number 2 spot today, we have Dale Hausner and Samuel Dietman. Known as the serial shooters, the crimes these guys committed are definitely on the list of fears I have, which I'm pretty sure spawned from a Criminal Minds episode. These 2 were actively committing these crimes between May of 2005 and August of 2006. Basically, they were arsonists who would randomly set fire to objects, but they would also drive around and commit random drive-by shootings. That's the really scary part. The fire thing is also bad, don't get me wrong. There's just something about completely random violence that absolutely terrifies me. In the end, a series of tips is what led investigators to identify the perpetrators of these horrible crimes. In particular, one from a friend of Samuel who explained that Sam had actually confessed to some of the killings one night while drinking. In Dale's trial, he was found guilty of 80 out of the 87 felony charges that were brought forth, and that was all in one single trial. In the end, he was sentenced to death 6 times, and his brother, who was later found
How you sentenced to death 6 times?
out to have assisted in some of the crimes, was sentenced to 25 years. Samuel was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In our number 1 spot today, we have the Doodler. While this nickname sounds very sweet, it, like everything else on this list, is very sinister. The nickname that this unidentified killer received is due to his practice of sketching his victims before taking their lives. This unidentified killer committed their crimes in the San Francisco area from January of 1974 to September of 1975, and they specifically targeted gay men. It is believed that 14 deaths can be attributed to this killer, while 3 others were injured in the process. Unfortunately, because of the stigma and sensitivity surrounding gay men at the time, the 3 who survived this monster were very reluctant when speaking with the authorities for fear of being outed as a result of it. This has led to there being very little information for them to work with in terms of identifying the man responsible. For a while, there was a primary suspect, but that person has never been officially charged because sadly, none of the survivors felt comfortable enough to testify in court.
Wow. Well, that's honestly, that's common, especially back then in the 70s when you don't want to admit that you're being attacked for being gay.
Yeah.
Because maybe you don't want to be outed by your situation. So yeah. Kathy says, Reina, you need to find out what day of the week people are born. I bet I could freak you out. That'd be cool. You know, I love that. That's awesome. Let's see. Mikey, I gotta take a smoke break, but I'm still tuning in. Jennifer, what? You have how many gram followers? Damn. So like Naji's told you, I'm a competitive powerlifter, so I gained a large following from powerlifting. Um, Personally, I've got about 125,000 followers from being a powerlifter. The other thing about being a powerlifter, I don't look like a powerlifter, so me looking very womanly and having like some curves and stuff naturally got me more attention than I think the average powerlifter would get. And there's a lot of I also get a lot of followers from just my dual cultures. Being an African and being a Puerto Rican gets you a lot of attention, like from both sides. And then I have a vegan page that has about 20,000 followers where I just post vegan cooking because I'm a real serious cook. I love cooking and I love sharing my cooking. And then Najee has about 11,000 followers on his Instagram. And then in a mixture between all of our businesses, we have another 10,000 followers between our other small business pages. So overall, we have about 160,000 followers total. And we are humble. Like, I personally don't like the idea. I actually don't feel comfortable when Najee says I'm famous. I don't like that. I'm not famous at all in any way, shape, or form. I know people that are actually famous, so I don't like it. I think that we're just one of those people that are like a little popular. We're like kind of popular. So, and I actually like that I don't share my YouTube page to my followers. So these are real authentic followers that are just off of people that just enjoy what we've been posting. I've not shared my YouTube page, but once, only because we were talking about something very specific. But I actually love that everybody that's here has no idea who we are outside of YouTube.
Yeah,
which
like
is great.
the specifics as far as like the YouTube channel, like what Reina said, I've never shared our YouTube channel on any other social media platform. Like everybody that's here in the chat, everybody that's with us right now, all of you all have found us specifically through YouTube, whether that's just through a certain topic or like what we do when it comes to like creating the YouTube videos and making sure that they're able to be found throughout the system. There hasn't been any way for you all to come from any of our other social media platforms. It's all specifically through YouTube.
Like our friends, family, and people that have been following me for years and years and years on Instagram, they have no idea what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
They're like, y'all got a YouTube.
We just want it to be organic. We want it to be like you all are finding us because you're interested in the topics that we're talking about,
A lot of times, although I'm sure we'd have a lot more followers or subscribers, I should say, if we did promote it. I like this. I think this is better. I get to connect with people that maybe you guys would never follow me on Instagram because my Instagram is all about fitness and powerlifting, and that might not be your vibe. But I do get to engage you guys on things that are also a passion of mine, which is true crime, learning about what happened with Darrell Brooks, learning about what happened with Parkland, the Pike County massacre, the other things, the suitcase case, the Daybell case, all these different things that are going on. I enjoy these things, and the people that enjoy fitness that are on my huge page on Instagram would not be able to vibe. So this is much better for me.
And it's also because as human beings, all of us are very diverse, right? Like we may have certain things that we're really interested in, but we may be just as interested in other topics, right? Like just as much as Rain and I love lifting and training and these type of things, we also are interested in these type of topics that we're going over right now, right? So it's just like splitting up these different areas that we just share a lot of interest in, that we want to like engage people in that are truly interested in what we're talking about on that specific platform, right? So the way that you all are engaging us and having a great time, and we're just talking and laughing, but also like learning about different topics, right? Like this is what we enjoy and what we want to continue. So it's cool to mention the other things that we got going, but at the same time, we're engaging you all because we want you all to actually enjoy what we're doing here specifically. So we don't really promote. Well, we promote like, for example, like our the sponsors.
Our business. That's different.
That helps us pay the bills, right? That helps us spend more time doing these type of things that we actually enjoy. So the more that we can have the support of you all purchasing products or subscribing to the Patreon, that give us more ability to actually spend more time doing this type of content, because we have, okay, if it's actually, giving us the ability to do it, then, why not? But, it's just about like having a great time and being able to like spend these hours that we're spending going live and talking to you all several times throughout the week, in the nighttime. So it just, we just try to segment it all, but it's all good and fun and, enjoyable. So hopefully that gives you all some good insight as far as what we're doing and our plans and stuff like that. I can tell you have a powerful black sister. Yes, she is very powerful. She is very black and she is
very sister.
Very sister.
She's very powerful. She's very black. She's very sister. You stupid. Thank you, Mikey.
I don't see your other channels in the channel side. All right, so if you want the other YouTube channels, I just commented from one of our other channels, is Mogul Naj, built by plants. You all can see that in the chat. But our YouTube channel, just type in Vegan Bae, BAE Fit, and on YouTube. Type that in on YouTube and you'll be able to pull it up. Just discovered.
Kathy said cover the Parkland case 34 Life B2B. So we'll definitely be on top of that. Our other channel is Vegan Bay Fit. We also have another one called Built by Plants. We have a couple ones. Again, like we might put it in the description, we might not. It's not about that. We don't really like. This is the channel that we're really interested in right now. Naj and I are getting married in November. 2023, and I think it's cool for us to build up a page that's just for us and what we enjoy doing. Vegan Bay Fit is a page for Najee and I as well, but we don't really give it as much attention because this really gets to be about us, like as a whole. So Dumbledore, wow, Reina and Naj, some conversing with real life famous people. No, girl, we are not real life famous people. We are just people that are out here in this world utilizing our resources to make sure we can share everything we have for you. Cook me some Jamaican food. Hey, listen, bruh, I don't know how to do Jamaican food, but I can make you some Puerto Rican food.
I'll eat some Jamaican food.
I make some good African food, depending on which country it is. I just love the way you both are so real and authentic. Thank you, Dumbledore.
That's one of the main things we want to like communicate from the jump, is like just giving our real, authentic thoughts about certain topics, So
Jennifer, dang, I see why looking at your gram, you're beautiful. You both got it going on. So dope. How'd they find it? Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. That's so sweet of you. Summer says, yeah, not about the fitness or vegan. I like my meat, but I will plug in. I'll plug y'all for sure. And that's, one thing we've always done. I think something I've prided myself on in the past 5 years. I don't try to push people towards veganism or make them vegan or make them feel bad about not being vegan. It's not something that it's like, you got to be vegan. It's more like I respect you as a human being, and whatever you choose to do for yourself, I'm with it. If you want advice, I'll give you advice. My advice will obviously be geared towards my morals and where I stand. Yeah. But I absolutely respect you as a human being if you do not see the value in the way we live our lives. Because I used to live the life that you lived, and I understand why you find value in it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with people who still eat meat. I just can feel confident in my reason for not eating meat.
Yeah. I mean, like my first, 27 years on this planet was spent eating meat, right? So I completely get it. And like Reina said, it will never be a situation where we're like trying to push something or tell you what you got to do or anything like that. It's always about like what it is that you feel is right for you in that moment, because in the right moment things will come as needed.
Yeah,
right?
And things change.
Yeah, like I need, like, for example, like I stopped eating pork at the age of 11. That wasn't because I was trying to go vegan. It's because it was the right thing for me to do in that moment when I seen what that shaped my mind to not want to eat or touch pork again, right? So And in every moment, there's a situation that's going to happen that causes you to do or make a certain decision. Now,
Love you,
as
Kathy. Sorry.
as time goes on, you got to keep in mind what's the famous quote? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Right.
That's a good
So
one.
keep in mind, like whenever you're ready to make a certain decision, that's when you'll seek out whoever you need to help you with that decision.
You know they're
so
there.
That's why we speak on what we do and what we are. So if there is a situation that comes around where you are interested, you know who to go to. And the same thing, right? So we want you all to share what you all have to offer as well in the chat and such, because you never know, you may be the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats. Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congrats. You guys are so sweet.
Appreciate it.
Oh, my mouse isn't sweet, though, because it's taking forever. Live
Say
stream
live
the
stream the
wedding. Laughing with very serious.
Maybe.
So, you know what's so funny? We were thinking about getting married in Puerto Rico. Thank God we didn't. We're getting married in Costa Rica instead. We might be able to live stream. I don't know, but I won't be thinking about that day. I'm not gonna lie. Kathy, guys, my eyes are bothering me, so I'll be listening the rest on TV. Love you all. Oh yeah, I saw a little bit of that. Love you too, Kathy. Thanks for coming and being with us per usual. We love all your contributions. Bindi, have a good night. Eve. Oh, good. What?
Have a good night, Eve.
Have a good evening, Kathy. Dumbledore, Reina and Naj. Too bad you still live in Illinois. I'm an ordained minister. Are you?
Oh, wow.
Damn, yeah, girl, we're gone. But that'd be pretty cool. Summer, right. Y'all are for real. That's why we are all here. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Thank you.
Build this beautiful couple up. Thank you so much, Summer. T. Taylor, baby. She said, I stopped eating red meat early 2000. Now it tastes weird to me.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't swallow it.
That's dope.
Miss
Up and
T.
down
Taylor,
since-
baby.
Wow.
No McDonald's since 2017. Honestly, good for you, girl.
2007.
2007, my bad. Good for you, honey. I mean, I'm so very proud of when people just Here's the thing. I've always said one of the reasons why I am vegan for sure is because I'm allergic to shellfish. I hate that I'm allergic to shellfish, but I'm definitely allergic to shellfish. I've never had an issue with shellfish, but I'm vegan because if without shellfish, what's the point then? So I was like, I might as well just be vegan, and it worked out for me, and it's great. But I will say, like I said, we don't judge people that eat what they want to eat, but I do have a little bit of some type of way about people who eat fast foods, especially like McDonald's, especially when you're in a black or brown community, because it's just so detrimental to your health. It's a generational mindset that keeps going from person to person to person with each birth, and it just doesn't stop. So I'm so glad to hear that you stopped eating McDonald's in 2007. It means a lot to me. So I'm sure it means a lot to your body and to you too. So very, very good.
Yeah. And what you said as far as like not really caring about what any other individuals do, it's like we have ridiculous amount. The majority of our friends, I don't think none of our friends or close relatives or anybody. I think we're the only
vegans now.
Right.
My brother used to be vegan. My mom kind of did the vegan thing, but after that, like that's basically it.
My family. I'm the only one. Only person we have is Dwayne, right?
We have a colleague / friend who's vegan because of us, and he's still vegan. But even if he wasn't, he maintains his vegan lifestyle like consistently. In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Adam said, Autumn Rain, I do not eat pork anymore. Pigs are so intelligent to me, and they are in the same category as cats and dogs. Honestly, I'm with you there. Personally, I just, I just can't imagine doing it. Outside of the things that they feed pigs, that they then feed us. I know you're not in the U.S. Autumn, I know you're in the CA, but in the U.S., they will feed pigs to us that have eaten other pigs.
Yeah.
Cannibalistic pigs. Don't get me started.
Now
Anyway.
I think in retrospect, like, I don't know why I haven't thought about it up until this point, but I was 11 years old when I stopped. Like, what the hell was going on at an 11-year-old
Maggots.
made that decision? Yeah, but 11, though.
He saw maggots and that was enough. Ruben Garcia, we went to Mexico for cancer treatment. The doctor said never eat pork. Wow.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they know what the deal is.
Yeah.
November 23rd would have been the most important month, most spiritual month in the year. Congratulations. Oh, November 2023 would have been. Okay. I do poultry. All right, guys. I got to go to sleep. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Najee done gave me every bit of this wine plus some rum. I can't take no more.
Yes.
I cannot take it.
Our good people, check it out.
Thanks, Mikey. That is so sweet of you.
We greatly appreciate it. So check it out. We're going to be back. We'll probably be back tomorrow night. We're going to take a look at the suitcase case. All right. Now, we also we'll see. Ooh. That might be uploaded to the Patreon. Make sure that you all are tapped in with the Patreon. All right. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you all. It is patreon.com/Naj, letter N, Reina. All right. And that will give you all the videos that we don't post on YouTube, because there's a lot of videos that we can't post on YouTube that we're going to be adding. We just created Patreon.
I'm glad we did this stuff because there's like 5 videos that we spent time making and they took down because of copyright or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, are y'all serious right now? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
Vindy, good night, my love.
Yes.
Good night, Summer and Jennifer and Mikey and Elcar and Susan and Kathy.
Oh, wait, let me add
Liz. And Miss T. Taylor Baby. And who else?
Everybody.
Dumbledore. We love y'all too. Honestly, I'm so glad we have like our people.
Yeah.
You know, we got a tribe here. I hope that it maintains.
Hope that it stays.
Autumn Rain, my baby.
Y'all stay for a long time, all right?
She got such a good heart.
Make sure y'all stay for a long time. I know that y'all are subscribed us here, but make sure you all stay for a while. I'm put on the shirt. Stay for a long time. Anyways,
for a long time, not a short
we
time.
appreciate you all. Seriously, like, we really do appreciate you all coming in and sharing your thoughts, dropping in the chat, and we love engaging with you all. We love building this community up, and we want to grow it. All right, so make sure that you all are sharing this to people that you think may find this conversation and information interesting, and just being able to engage on this type of level, because a lot of people aren't engaging as much as, you know, we try to, because it's not about like any specific metrics. It's more so just about building community of people that are interested in the same things, so we can have people talk to that we're interested in and share content, you know.
I'm about to say, if you know anybody that likes this type of content, share it though, because once we hit 1,000, we actually can start monetizing, which makes it easier for us to not have videos that freeze and buffer all damn day.
That's true.
So
I said that's true. That's true.
Cindy, Elcar, Jennifer, everybody, if you guys know people that might benefit or like this channel, share it. Don't make people who don't like this stuff like it, though, or subscribe.
Yeah.
We kind of just want real subscribers, so you don't have to, like, force anybody.
Yeah.
But if they're into true crime, real comments from people, come on through. We're with it. So that'd be great, because we're at 888 subscribers right now. Once we hit that good 1,000, we're doing great.
Oh, we are 891.
I see 888. Okay. But yeah, so that's where we're at. All right, guys. We love you guys so much. You guys enjoy your night. We're going to go ahead and mute and give you guys time to get your chats in, and then we're going to end it out.